So we got asked the question by Chris Forward, what do we like, dislike about fresh to salty, and what would we tell other people that might be looking at a boat similar to fresh to salty? And to answer that question, I think we've got to go back to when we first looked at fresh to salty.
What did we get? What did you come away with off that boat that you...
I really liked the layout of it.
I loved the windows.
I still love the windows. I would like to replace the windows with heavily tinted windows because right now we keep them covered all the time. Because if you uncover them, it's like being in a greenhouse. And I would like to take, in the very two front windows, there's little hatches that need to be taken out altogether.
And I loved the fact that the two smaller cabins weren't small. They were quite roomy.
I can't even believe I said that. That the cabins weren't small. I feel like the V-berth cabin is fairly big. You can walk around in there and change clothes and sit down. And the girls' cabin, you can walk around in there a little bit. You even got a closet and everything. But Talon got gypped big time. His cabin is tiny. I think when we first were looking at the boat, Talon was a lot smaller. And so it was plenty. But Talon's almost 17 now. And yeah, he doesn't have a big cabin at all.
What do you think about the main sail being on a furler?
That would be different, but I think that would be kind of cool for reefing. Yeah, you won't get the same response as if the mainsail had bands in it.
So when I was talking or asking Stephen in that video about what he thought about having the mainsail in a furler, I had no idea. I had never seen a boat with an in-mast furler, and now 3 years later, if we ever did get a different boat, I would not ever want one that doesn't have an in-mast furler. All I can remember about our first little boat when it came to the sails was every single time we put the mainsail up, it caught on the lines on the side, and it was so frustrating. That's never once ever happened with an in-mast furler.
So what did you not like about the boat?
In 1.5 miles,
I was
turn left on Old
expecting the
Long Beach
gel
Road
coat to
Southeast.
be in a little bit better condition than it was.
Yes, the gel coat did need work.
About the gel coat and the varnish, when I said in that video that we needed to do work on the varnish, I meant that the teak was nasty and needed to be cleaned. To be honest, I've cleaned it a lot. It's nasty right now. It still needs to be cleaned. We also now have varnish work that needs to be done on the inside, which I've started on. It will take me a very long time. The gel coat is one of those things that, especially if you buy a used boat, you will be doing gel coat work from the day you buy it till the day you sell it. Just accept it. Gel coat is gel coat. It always needs work.
Oh, love the fact that the engine just started up straight away.
Yes, the engine sounded amazing. It ran really well.
So as far as the Yanmar engine is concerned, we've only ever had 2 issues so far, and that was with a relay that went out, which was a really easy fix once we figured out that it was the actual relay. And then the other one was with the engine having diesel bug, and again it took a while longer, but it just meant polishing the fuel that was already in there and adding some biocide to get rid of it.
So at this point, we filter all fuel that goes in and we add that chemical every time, and then we've never had an issue. It's been 2 years since that happened with no issues.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll keep it that way. Touch wood, as Amber would say.
Yeah.
The way was, I liked this particular.
Yes, I like the layout.
So Fresh to Salty has a mast height of 54 feet and a draft of 6.11.5 inches.
I want to ask you a question about the draft. We always hear from everybody, why on earth did you buy a boat with a 7-foot draft? But has that draft ever stopped us from going really anywhere that we wanted to go?
No.
I mean, yes, we have perfected the 2 and 3 mile dinghy rod, but we still go everywhere we want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we've sailed it all through the Abacos now, and we've also sailed it through Eleuthera,
And a big, huge part of the
and
Exumers.
a large part of the Exumers. The only time it's given us an issue is when we've been going up and down the ICW, which we don't like to do anyway. We prefer to go outside. But a draft that's fairly deep also means that it's really stable going outside. So ocean crossing and ocean sailing is really pleasant in this boat. We like doing we don't like doing the ICW, and that's mainly because there's just so much boat traffic. Whereas when we're outside in the ocean, there's far less boats to worry about, and
you never have to worry about running aground.
no.
Okay, so one other thing that was an issue with this boat, and I didn't realize it at the time. On the day that we went to see the boat, and even on the day that we did our sea trial and inspection and all that, the Dodger was folded up in a lazarette. We never saw it. I never saw it during the inspection at all. But it was something that Stephen was insistent we had to use because it's terrible to be trying to maneuver this boat with the rain going in your face or a lot of wind. But I felt the Dodger was dangerous. I could not see over the Dodger. It was too low to see under the Dodger. You couldn't see around the Dodger. It was awful. Anyway, it was about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago now. Maybe 2 years ago. Stephen built us a hard Dodger. I don't have any photos of the old Dodger because I hated it so much I took it down every time I could. Only drawback at this point when it comes to the Dodger and the Bimini is that we need to build, create, whatever, an enclosure, which is going to be really hard for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, but we're going to do it at some point. Soon. Maybe. Thinking back to when we bought this boat, do you think we should have got a bigger boat?
At the time, the boat seemed massive, like almost overwhelming.
Because it was almost, 15 or 20 feet longer than our previous boats?
Yeah. And
so we doubled in size, really.
Yeah, that's a big jump up. Now, with all 5 of us on board, it seems very small.
But when we lived on land in a 4-bedroom house with 2 storage sheds and an office and a huge living room, the house seemed small. Like we were constantly thinking we should get a bigger house, we should get a bigger house, we should get a bigger house. If we took everything we owned right now and moved onto land into a big old house, we would still be like, there's not enough room here for everything.
Yeah.
It's not about...
And I mean, we've got at least 2 teenagers that have said that they want to get off the boat when they get to 18.
That's a year. In 1 year, one of them will be 18.
Yeah. So, and then the year after it'll be 1. So there's another 2 years. I mean, we would have their bedrooms as storage rooms at that point. So,
yeah.
To be honest, I think a 40-foot boat for 2 adults is more
even
than
1 or
enough.
2 kids, depending on how many bedrooms you have. But
we love our friends' boats that have catamarans because they seem to have so much storage, but they fill it up just as much
as we fill up our boat. That's true. That's
so
true. Yeah.
I think no matter what the size of the boat, you're still going to fill it, and then.
But I also think that for the experience that we had, or lack of experience that we had at that time, if we had gone to anything bigger than we did, we probably would have had a nervous breakdown and we wouldn't be on the boat anymore. The first year was really hard.
Yeah.
And if the boat had been so much bigger that we actually had to maneuver it, could we move up to a bigger boat now? I think we could. We could handle it.
If we wanted to.
I don't think it's necessary.
No. I mean, we thought about, let's sell this boat and get another boat.
Get a bigger boat or a catamaran or...
But the reality of it is
this boat's paid for.
Yeah.
We don't owe anything on it. That's the reality, and we probably will not change boats because of that.
Well, yeah, but not just that. I just think in the future, it's I love the what's the saying, 2 plus 4 plus 6, where it's enough room for 2 of you, 4 as in visit, 2 people come to visit, and then 6 to socialise. I mean, we've had our friends on the boat to socialise and have dinners and things like that. So yeah, I think.
Do I see the advantage of having all that extra space? Yes. Will I always be looking for more space on this boat or another boat? Always. Do I have regrets about buying this boat?
No.
No. Would you buy this boat again?
Absolutely. Hey, we just wanted to say a big thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please don't forget to click on that like button, and if you haven't subscribed before, think about subscribing.
We also have a Patreon page where you can get real-time updates and communicate with Stephen and I directly, so be sure and check that out.